You're watching TV-20 News 530 Live with Paige Beck and David Snyder. This is TV-20 News in high definition.
Welcome back. Alzheimer's disease can't be stopped, so it must be managed. That's tough to do when patients tend to wander away. People like Eleanor Sheffield of Gainesville, who launched a massive search and rescue operation when she went missing for a week in 2006. She was eventually found and brought back home. A device developed by some people here in Gainesville is designed to keep patients home. That's the focus of tonight's Technology Spotlight. David.
Thank you, Paige. Tonight I'm joined by Dr. Meredith Rowe, a nurse researcher at UF. How often do people with Alzheimer's disease tend to wander away?
Well, the Alzheimer's Association estimates that about 60% of people will have a missing event where they become separated from their caregivers during the course of their disease.
And what kind of strain does that place on caregivers?
Well, the caregivers are required to be kind of on or vigilant 24/7, and that becomes very difficult because as soon as your eyes aren't on the person that you're caring for, that person may make a judgmental error and, for instance, leave the front door of the house, and then even though they've only been gone a few minutes, sometimes it's very hard to find them.
What got you thinking about this and trying to come up with a solution to help respond to this?
One of the worst times is during the night because the caregivers really need their sleep during the night, and the person with dementia really needs supervision during the night. And so caregivers attempt to sleep with an open ear like a new mother, and they hope that they're awakened in time if the person with dementia gets up and is moving around the house at risk for falls or walking out the front door. And so it seemed like a very opportune time for a technologic solution to make sure that when the person with dementia needs supervision, that's provided, but at all other times the caregiver can sleep soundly.
You call it Owl's Alert, I understand.
We're calling it Owl's Alert,
Owl's
yes.
Alert, well, that makes plenty of sense and says it all, but how does it work?
How it works is that we have a sensor in the bed where the person with dementia sleeps, and then there's an information panel by the caregiver's bedside. And the information panel provides information on the whereabouts of the person with dementia, so that when the person with dementia gets out of bed, the sensor in the bed sends a signal to the information panel, and the caregiver gets a message that says, out of bed. And then there's sensors through the house, so that when the person with dementia, for instance, goes into the bathroom, they get a message that they're in the bathroom. And then when they get back to bed, it gives them a message that that person is safely back in bed. And as long as the bed is occupied with the person with dementia, all the sensors are silent, so anybody else can go walking around the house and conduct their normal activities during that period of time.
Well, where does the product stand in development now, and when might we see it on the market?
We're hoping to have a commercial version by the end of this year. So right now we're doing prototype testing, and so we have prototypes built, and we're currently testing those and getting ready to hopefully go to manufacturing soon. We're
almost out of time, but very quickly, you're one of the semifinalists for the CADE Prize. What would winning this do to help?
Well, our next step is to take our prototype of our information panel and get to the commercial version that looks really good and in the home and is very power efficient and is very easy for the caregivers to use. So that's what we would use the money for. Okay, well, best of luck with that. This is Dr. Meredith Rowe. If you have any suggestions for a future Technology Spotlight interview, you can send me an email. There's the address, dsnyder@wcjb.com. Paige?